So, I'm recording this video so I can add it to our YouTube channel in case somebody's gone today, and then they can watch this video before they get a chance to do lab. We're going to learn how to do and light a Bunsen burner today. This is a Bunsen burner. It's named after Bunsen, the guy who invented it. And there's a couple safety things we need to talk about first. The first thing is loose clothing and hair. In the lab, no like scarves or loose shirts, anything like that. Even hoodies, if they're super bulky, can be dangerous. So we're going to leave backpacks and all loose items in here. Second thing is hair, especially girls with long hair. If you flip your hair over the flame, you just went to a short haircut really fast, okay? So pull it back in a ponytail or tuck it into your shirt, quick braid it behind your head, something to keep your hair off. We don't always have to have goggles when we're using the Bunsen burner. But sometimes I will require goggles depending on what we're doing, okay? Bunsen burners require two things for us to have a flame. It requires fuel and oxygen. So there are two places on here that we can adjust the fuel and the oxygen. The oxygen is adjusted up here at the top. By cranking it down, we reduce the amount of oxygen and weaken our flame. Opening it up, we give it more oxygen and we strengthen our flame. But too much oxygen, and you can actually blow your flame out, okay? On the bottom is where we adjust the fuel, the gas. Again, dropping it down opens up the area and allows more gas to come through so we get a bigger flame. Tightening it up pinches the gas off, we get a smaller flame. Now if you open it up too much, and it happened this morning, opened up too much, the whole valve came off, the gas pulled out the bottom, and we had like a good 2-foot section of the table that was on fire this morning, okay? So pay attention to how much you're opening and closing it. It kind of scared the person that happened to. I don't want that to happen again, so you've been warned. In the lab, we have numerous valves to open and close gas. We always need to make sure they're turned off when we're done, and turned off means we shut them. Turned on, they are parallel with the tube that comes out of it, and that means the gas is on. You can also hear it oftentimes and definitely smell it if it's been on for too long. On the far wall is our emergency gas shutoff. So let's say I'm the one who's on fire and we need to get the gas turned off. It's a red box. You need to go and turn that handle to turn off the gas. If an emergency happens at your table, turn off the gas, take care of the emergency, okay? If you somehow catch on fire, remember fire needs fuel and oxygen, so you're trying to deprive it of those things. You can pat fire out by taking away the oxygen, getting it to an area where it has nothing to burn, and then of course our last emergency is stop, drop, and roll, okay? I've never had a big fire emergency in my class, but I've had lots of burned fingers. And that's because this whole Bunsen burner is metal. You only have to have it on just for a second for the top to get really hot, and then a few minutes and the rest of it starts heating up. So don't think you can just turn off the gas, grab it and put it away, or you're going to have some nice burn marks on your hand. If you do get burned, just don't be a wussy. Suck it up, all right? I'll give you some ice. Move on with your lab. You'll make it, unless it's a bad burn, and then, of course, we'll do something about it, okay? All right, so we're going to turn the lights off. We're going to see how this records in the dark. Does this still pick me up at all, a little bit?
No, not at all.
Background throwing it off? All right. Turn this off, and you can just listen to my voice for a minute. All right. So, I'm actually turning the lights back on real fast. I forgot one other thing. All right. This is a striker. It has a flint tip on it. The flint tip scratches across the file and creates a spark. Now, I hear lots of people going, mine won't light. Scratch, 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 scratch. All you're doing is wearing down the flint, okay? What you should do is hold it in your off hand. So I'm right-handed, so I'm holding it in my left hand. I'm going to take my strong hand. I'm going to grip the part that slides. I'm going to leverage it with my thumb, and I'm going to pull back and across, okay? Now I get a nice, sharp spark each time, okay? Back and across. Ooh, smoky. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and light this, and then we'll turn the light off and talk about the different flames. I'm going to turn on my gas.
What type of gas is it?
I can hear it, just natural gas. I can hear it. I can smell it. I got my flame. All right, right away here, I got almost too much oxygen. It was blowing it out, okay? Would you shut that door and that door so we don't get the cross wind kind of coming across there? All right, this is a pretty strong flame. Almost a little bit too strong. So I'm going to decrease the amount of my gas, decrease my oxygen, and light it again here. There we go, that's better. All right, when I'm lighting a flame, and if you guys can't see, you guys can stand up right here if you'd like to. I want everybody to be able to see, okay? Move it to the front here so it's a little bit easier. I need to make sure I have everything for my lab ready to go before I light it. I don't want to light it and then be like, oh, I gotta go get a beaker. I gotta go get a thermometer. You don't leave lit flames, okay? If you're working by yourself and you have a lit flame and you have to leave, you have to turn it off. If you're working in partners, one of you stays with the flame and the other one goes and gets the ladder finished, okay? All right, now we're gonna turn off the lights. This should still record pretty good, I think, yeah?
Whoa. Dude.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
All right, good. All right. This is a pretty good flame, but this pretty is also too big of a flame for a lab. We'd have to broil stuff really high on this. All that energy is getting dispersed. So we need to make some adjustments to it. Let's first see what happens when we decrease the amount of oxygen. So I'm screwing down my top. Okay. You can notice my flame is turning more yellow. I call this a lazy flame. Okay? It's pretty, like you can have a romantic dinner to it, okay? But it's not going to boil anything, okay? It's still hot. And it's also kind of dangerous because it kind of floats around in a larger perimeter around the flame. This is not getting enough oxygen. So if you see a yellow flame, you need to increase your oxygen. So I'm going to increase my oxygen back up here. This is looking pretty good. If you look carefully at it, you can see that it has two tones. A two-tone flame means it's a pretty hot flame, but it's too big. So now I'm going to adjust my amount of gas, okay, my fuel. I could try to reach under here and do it. I think the easiest way is actually to pick it up, pointing it away from myself and away from my lab partners, and then I can adjust the gas. Now I can bring it down really, really low. Okay, that's not too bad. But that also is not going to be putting out enough heat to get my water boiled quickly. We're looking for a flame that's about 1 inch to 2 inches tall with a clear two-tone heat pattern to it. Okay, that is a hot flame and a good flame for our lab. We would position our ring stand about 3 or 4 inches above the tip of the flame. We've got some good heat here. We're going to boil our water, do whatever, quite quickly. Okay. When we're all done with our flame, we turn it off at the spigot, not on the Bunsen burner. So I'm all done with my experiment. It's time to turn it off, or I need to leave to do something. It's time to turn it off. Make sure it's turned all the way tight. Turn my lights back on for me, please. And listen. Kind of smell, not a super suck smell, but all right, my gas is off. And I'm going to wait to pick up this because I know it's now quite hot. Okay, we're going to be going next door to practice, and after you get yours a nice flame, 2 inches tall, two-tone. Hang on a second. Then I want you to mess it up. Okay, change the oxygen, change the fuel. Then give it to your partner so they have to start from scratch also and not just light it and be like, ooh, perfect flame, okay? You guys have been really good this week and last week. I'm going to let you choose the person that you're going to do it with. So you're going to do it with that person, take turns. There's a lot of us. Be careful. Let's go make some fire. All right, let's go.